than what size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
Went from loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
Well, happy Monday. Again, I apologize. This week will likely be a little bit wonky in terms of scheduled shows. The afternoon show should be fine, but in the mornings, I'm trying to get all of my appointments out of the way, and sometimes that means I'm 4 hours late. So much apologies to you. Still waiting to hear back from the doctor. Still haven't. I got one eye on my inbox constantly now because that's the way modern medicine works. We'll email you. Hope you're not in excruciating pain nonstop while we wait, but we'll email you. Let's get it right into the news. An absolutely spectacular 4th of July celebration took place over the weekend in much of the country. Shout out America. Leave a like on the video. Every like on the video angers some dork lib that is big mad about fireworks. Now, look, I get it. If you live in a suburb, there's always kind of this unwritten rule. For example, where I live, all right, you guys do whatever you want till midnight. After midnight, I'm letting the dog out kind of thing. But the libs melted down so hard over the incredible fireworks display in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. I've got some information on that. Also in the news, a complete worldwide meltdown over Donald Trump placing his fingers, perhaps allegedly, according to some, on the scales of the World Cup, personally picking up the phone and making sure one of Team USA's top players is available for the game. I think it's tonight or tomorrow. I'm not going to pretend to be a soccer fan. I tune in to watch Team USA play in the World Cup, and then that's about it. I don't even know the rules. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care. Yes, I know it's football. We're in America. It's soccer here. But that said, let's get into all the stories. By the way, I just want to let everyone know, launched a vlog channel, which has its first video coming out tomorrow about my visit to the ER. There's only going to be 2 videos a week on that vlog channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description to it, Quartering Vlogs. We're going to talk business, behind the scenes stuff, all sorts of stuff that really doesn't fit on all of their channels. We'll have some rants and stuff like that, but just twice a week, longer form, more casual, not at the desk. We'll do our IRL stuff on there too. So if you want to check that out, you can look up Quartering Vlogs, one word, or just use the link in the description. Here we have Lulu from the New York Times. Why are we having so many jets scorching over DC? It's nerve-wracking. I get 250 celebrations, but this feels like the apocalypse. Top reply, Data Republican says, well, your biography does go a long way to explaining this post. Welcome to America. This is somebody who formerly worked at the BBC. Nick Soderbergh had to check to make sure it wasn't a parody account. What a clown. Gina Milan says, go F yourself. Grok was, of course, born in London, England. I don't have any problem with London, England. I don't have any problem with England at all. I know I have a lot of viewers over in Europe, roughly 20% of my total viewership. Shout out to all of you. So I generally try to report on important English news and things like that, things that are going on over there. So, you know, Lulu says, sorry for triggering you. To Sean Davis saying, have you considered crying about it even harder? And of course, they're big mad about all of the money that was spent on 850,000 munitions at America's 250th fireworks display. Just to keep it in perspective, there's 20,000 fired last year. Now, look, I get it. I'm a big USAID fan. I mean, I'm sorry. No, wait. A Doge fan cutting USAID. It's painkillers, guys. Okay. I don't even know where I'm at right now. I don't even know what's going on right now. But I'm okay spending it on an epic record-setting fireworks display over Washington, D.C. My only regret is that I couldn't see it personally. It seemed like somebody was organizing something because there was a lot of apparently much cooler influencers than I, cooler news people than I, all there for this event. But that's okay. That's okay. Well, we'll watch it, you know, just a little sample here. I mean, I got to turn off the music. But just a massive display. I believe it set a world record. 850,000 munitions fired during the 4th of July celebration in D.C. Now, I'm okay dialing that back next year. You know, like, let's do 251. It's, nah, you know, it's not as big of a deal. But the pure levels of America that could be just mainlined from this fireworks display, incredible. And of course, the left is big mad. Oh, I thought you guys wanted to save money. The Trump administration has not told the public about what it costs to put on the largest fireworks show in history, nor has it said whether American taxpayers will be footing the bill for the plan to break the world record on July 4th. Guess what? I'm here to tell you, we don't care. Leave a like on the video if you don't care. I'm here to tell you, we don't care. I'd much rather spend money on things that go boom and look pretty in the sky than missiles to blow up brown people. You know, who's fitting the bill? And you know what the funny thing about a lot of this, like, left-wing money, you know, penny pinching now that they're not in power, a lot of this stuff is paid for by outside sources. You know, like, remember the whole Trump ballroom? Ooh, the American taxpayers are paying for a ballroom in the White House. Which, by the way, I'm here to remind you, we don't care. I don't care if we spend money to make our capital nicer. To be honest with you, the fact that we do all these, like, correspondence dinners and stuff like that at these hotels is insane. We should have had a place to do it on the White House grounds 50 years ago. I mean, nobody in this country cares that we're improving the Capitol. Oh, look at all the money spent on the reflecting pool. Yeah, it was great when it looked like some old lady's aquarium that she hasn't, you know, maintained in 11 years, and some poor fish is swimming around in there and more algae than water when Barack Obama or Joe Biden was president. That was great. You know, it's called the reflecting pool because it is supposed to reflect the monument, but nobody cared when it was all green and we were buying, you know, rubbers for Afghanistan, or we were funding Sesame Street for Afghanistan. That money was well spent. But our own capital, which I've been there, I was there I think during the Biden presidency. I was there when I went on Timcast. It's a dump. Was a dump. Our capital should be the safest place in the country. It should be the most beautiful place in the country. And I 100% support building whatever structures we want. I would be fine with them building a structure for them to host UFC events there all the time, or whatever political event, whatever event we want to have there. I don't care if they spent $1 billion building some super, building that could host all this stuff. Reinvesting in your country with the money that I unwillingly have to give the government is way better than them buying rubbers for Syria or whatever the nonsense is that they normally spend our money on. Roughly 850,000 shells of fireworks are set to go over the National Mall just before midnight on the semi-quincentennial Saturday. The current record held by a church in the Philippines, which launched 810,000 shells in 2016. Fireworks company Pyrotechnico, known for its long history of designing large and sophisticated displays, are behind the show, which Trump administration and the celebrating planning officials announced in May. There is nobody more mad about how beautiful these fireworks are, how, again, the second time around, the clouds parted. Right? They had clouds and light rain for the UFC event, helping ring in 250. They parted. The event went off great. It was an amazing event. Same thing happened the night of the fireworks. I think it was pretty late. I don't know. I fell asleep, but it still went off. You're talking a multi-million-dollar production without a doubt, said James Woods, the director of sales of Pyro shows in Tennessee. Woods estimates that some of the individual devices used at the National Mall could cost anywhere from $50 to $1,000. Whoa! Whoa! $50, you say? If even 3% of the devices in this show cost $50, that would cost $1.3 million. Whoa! Whoa! $1 million to celebrate a 250th anniversary? We should bring Trump up on treason charges. Give me a break. Democrats complaining about fireworks on our 250th anniversary after a month-long celebration of degeneracy is peak hilariousness. How much money was wasted on LGBTQ parades for a month across the country? Yeah, and how much of that was spent by the country or spent by taxpayers or funneled through, defunct companies like USAID or funds, I'm sorry. Trump, of course, delivers an excellent... Honored to have... I think for the pomp and circumstance that was required of the 250th anniversary of America, is there a better president that could have pulled this off? Trump understands how to put on a show, for better or worse. Trump is a showman, for better or worse. This is the perfect guy to have in office for America's 250th. Biden probably would have fired off syringes filled with the jab into the sky.
Here tonight in the heart of our nation's capital, one of the very first American flags ever to exist. Dating back to 1777, it bears the 13 stars and 13 stripes of the 13 states that declared independence on the 4th of July.
Shut up.
This was the flag that flew victorious at Saratoga.
There it is.
And these are the real deals, too. These are the real flags. These are flags that have seen a lot.
I mean, 250 years old,
We approach this magnificent anniversary. We see our American identity under a renewed attack. A generation after we fought and won the Cold War against the menace of communism. Communism is the exact opposite of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We resolve and swear for all to hear that the citizens of the United States of America will vanquish communism quickly. Don't let them take too much of your time.
I mean, you just love it. Then, on top of that, now the entire world is melting down after, again, I know that I don't know what percentage of my viewers are soccer fans or footy fans, whatever you want to call it. This is not really about soccer or football. One of Team USA's best strikers got a ridiculous red card, which would have kept him out of an extremely important game. I think it's tonight or tomorrow. Again, I don't pretend to be a soccer fan. If USA pulls off a victory, I'll celebrate it. But, you know, it's more patriotism driven than I try to watch soccer. I can't with the flopping. It ruins the game. I tried watching a couple of games. It's ridiculous. It's the same thing that ruins basketball.
I just found out on the way over here from the guys. Obviously, for us, it gives us a boost. We're really excited. He's been so good for us this tournament, so to have him for tomorrow is obviously really exciting for us.
So basically, one of Team USA's best players was set to miss the game. The World Cup descended into a farce on Sunday after it emerged that Donald Trump personally called FIFA president to review the one-match ban handed to USA striker Valerian Balogun. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Again, I don't play or watch the sport. In a move that sent shockwaves through the sport, the governing body confirmed that he is free to face Belgium in the last 16 on Monday night. That's tonight, despite being red carded in USA's win over Bosnia and Herzegovina on July 1st. White House officials have confirmed to the Daily Mail that Trump took the extraordinary step of reaching out to Infantino ahead of FIFA's staggering decision to suspend the ban. Moments after the announcement, President Trump thanked FIFA for reversing a great injustice in a post-century social. Everybody's raging about this. But let me ask you, isn't this exactly what a president's supposed to do? Now, if he was making calls about, somebody getting a one-game suspension in baseball, whatever the case is, okay, fine. You might argue there's bigger fish to fry. This is the World Cup. USA obviously probably is, I highly doubt they're favored to win. But this is taking place on our soil, and I absolutely support Donald Trump calling and reversing this. Calling and telling the FIFA president, listen, player, you're not going to screw over our player on our turf. Further reports in the U.S. claim Trump Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and White House Task Force head Andrew Giuliani put together a legal team to challenge the dismissal. The decision has also sparked anger within Belgium, and it's understood they are considering taking legal action and referring the matter to a court of arbitration for sport. I mean, why don't you just play the team? Why don't you just play the team at full strength? Why would you want to win when they're not at full strength? And maybe Belgium wins anyway. Maybe they do. I don't know. But the meltdown is hilarious. UEFA turn on FIFA and blast incomprehensible decision to let banned USA star play following Donald Trump's intervention, with World Cup opponents Belgium now appealing it. You know what? Cry more. I don't have any issues with Belgium at all. At all. I'm sure their fans are butthurt about it, but you know what? If you had a player that was unjustly banned from the game, I wouldn't take any joy in winning that one either.
We're in the stadium, and right away, I think it was I was standing there next to my daughter-in-law and our grandson, and then my son and my wife. And both my son and my wife, Cindy and Ian, both turned. They're like, "That's not a red card." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it looked awkward. It was an awkward challenge." And we kept going, "Wait a minute, that's not a red card." There wasn't a violent approach. Like, it wasn't like a predetermined thing by Balogun. So for me, it was like the way they bumped and came together. It was like a 50-50 kind of awkward challenge, the way they fell. So I don't think it was a red card at all, to be honest with you. Now, you get different slow-mo, like, angle.
By the way, this is, a former World Cup champion. It wasn't a red card. It wasn't, just wasn't what it, he should have been suspended. Trump fighting for USA Soccer, Democrats fighting for men and women's sports. I mean, that truly is And oh, by the way, as a last little nugget of good news, you know that former Olympian that wrecked the reflecting pool? Well, he's now been federally indicted. Hope it was worth it. Hope it was worth it, idiot. Hope it was worth it. The left only knows destruction and anger and hate. And it's great to see them getting a little bit of a comeuppance on it. I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you did, make sure you have a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon. I know footy's not like a thing for most of my viewers, but you know, I want Team USA to win. I do. In my opinion, you know. Let's see. We got this other story. We got this other story. How was everybody's 4th? I always like to check in with my viewers. How was your 4th? What'd you get up to? I unfortunately was immobilized, so I played in 2 poker tournaments and won 2nd in one and 3rd in the other, netting about $2,400. I was very, very happy. So that'll help pay towards the medical bills. So I'm glad to see that. Normally I don't get time to play in really any poker tournaments anymore these days. It's a small team. I can't just take a vacation and go off to Vegas or whatever, things like that. Yeah, I wish I could. You know, I definitely wish I could. I love poker. I've been playing since, I don't know, I was 14 or 15 really? Or something like that, roughly. Well, let's hear from chat. How are you guys doing? Let's see. What'd you guys get up to? What'd you guys get up to? My ACL surgery got sepsis, spent 30 years on morphine. Holy shit. Well, I hope that doesn't happen. You don't want to fuck around with painkillers, man. I'm sober 5 years. Oh, I don't really fuck around with them. I take as little as possible because I know. I definitely know. Good to have a week off from work. Was a refresher I needed. Yeah. Working on the house. Yep. I had to change my plans because the guy normally sets him up, blew himself up in the morning. Holy crap. Normally, I would have spent the day choring too. That's normally what I would have done over the 4th, but can't move till I get my MRI results, which I hope will be today. I don't know. Hopefully tomorrow at the latest. I don't know. That's my hope, but who knows? With the 4th of July holiday, all this stuff. So basically, I'm just stuck sitting and waiting for an email. I don't know. Maybe they'll call. I don't know. Seems like they do everything over email now. I'm with you on soccer. Not exactly a big fan, but I'm all for supporting our team. Yeah, right. Booking time to go see Mill a final time at the hospital. A mother-in-law. Stage 4 cancel. Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that. Swimming pools, hot dogs, mac and cheese, very solid. MRI results are pretty much instant. You're waiting for a doctor to take 5 minutes to tell you what you can see on your own without 10 years of school. No shit, right? I feel like if they would have just given me those pictures, I could have probably uploaded it to Grok and been like, what's wrong with this knee? I mean, there's, you know, they see the images. Am I going to put a USA flag on the scooter at least? Duh. I'm going to have, you know, I got to put rims on it, spinners, a bumping stereo system, right? Don't have to do all of that. That's like, I have to. I think that's the only, like, don't you have to do that? Daughter's Sweet 16 party a couple days before the 4th, so we just gamed as a family. Nice. A family that games together stays together. 100%. Proven fact. Learn a new board game called, is it Cattles of Edinburgh? I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. Watch fireworks with my daughter and grandkids here in the middle of Tennessee, Murfreesboro. Shout out. I feel like I've been to Murfreesboro before. I think I went with a friend of mine to buy a car there. He bought some like souped up Mustang. I had to drive him so that he could drive the car back. Castles of Edinburgh. Oh, okay. Castles. I gotcha. Well, I hope you had fun with it. Bought and started a new hidden object game. I don't know what that is, but okay. Hung out with family, good food, good time, burgers, brisket, shredded pork. Oh, I missed all that. I missed all that. Well, over the weekend, we had yet another outbreak of the dreaded teen takeover. And first, let me just define what a teen takeover is, actually. It is a mob of generally mostly inner city youths who get together and commit crime. Now, the mainstream media has successfully marketed what everyone else knows is a riot to a teen takeover. And it happened so quickly, I don't think anyone even noticed. The reason they rebranded it as a teen takeover is because of the people that are doing it. We had it's a major problem where I live, 20 minutes north of me in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We had situations over there. We had just terrifying footage in North Charleston, South Carolina to share with you. And just a general, you know, this is lawlessness. And it's just that the media doesn't want you to really know who's really doing it. It's usually young black men who get together and destroy stuff. Destroy Chipotles, commit crimes, destroy this, ruin everything. And the 4th of July was no exception. Let's get into the story. By the way, I'm only going to promote it today, and then you probably won't hear much about it after that, but new vlog channel. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll have vlogs at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow's vlog is on my visit to the ER. You're not going to want to miss that. And then Thursdays, we've got another behind the scenes. Thursday, we've got behind the scenes about the money that you can earn on YouTube and things like that, and answering some of the, taboo questions, things like that. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. You could probably search up Quartering Vlogs, one word, but I don't know if it comes up yet because it's a brand new channel. But please feel free, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, behind the scenes stuff that would normally be like members only content, I'm going to put there for free. It's available wherever you watch my videos. North Charleston teen takeover group seen attacking police officers on video after Florida's event, which we will also talk about as well. After a 19-year-old man lost his life and 6 others were injured during a teen takeover in Pensacola, Florida on Saturday, another shocking teen takeover video has hit the internet on Sunday. This video, the video here, we're going to take a look at from North Charleston, South Carolina. This authenticity has been confirmed by local news outlet WCSC5 Live, which also reported that North Charleston Police Department addressed the incident in a statement on Sunday. In the video, a female police officer can be seen getting pummeled by a group of teens just taking over. Multiple officers injured. Here in Milwaukee, one of them got ran over. Another one got a firework, like a mortar. We'll take a look at that. Now, I'm not going to really play much of the video here because it's just bad. But you see 2 to 3 full-grown youths pummeling a white officer on the ground. A white female officer. Like the heroes they are. Okay? Just attacking her like rabid beasts. Now, in my opinion, that's when you just start letting the lead fly. You know? That's when you just start letting the lead fly. They got this one guy. They got one guy. Here's a Shamiqua looking for trouble. I mean, they were just throwing haymakers at this white female officer on the ground. Oh, I think that might be a woman. Oof. Yikes. And then you got this guy in the hoodie getting involved and then getting tased, but apparently his hoodie is taser proof. According to North Charleston Police Department, the incident escalated from a block party, which was for organizers of the Chicoria Cherokee community. I didn't see any Indians there. They have permission from the police in advance. However, things turned chaotic at 8:30 p.m. once the liquor started flowing, I'm sure, when reports of weapon fire and individuals throwing fireworks at cars reached police departments. The department said the responding officers tried to control the crowd, asking everyone to leave the area repeatedly. However, fights broke out in multiple places and officers intervened to de-escalate the situation. In the process, multiple officers were attacked, the department said. It included 2 police officers who suffered minor injuries, one of them who could purportedly be seen in the viral video. In the statement, police said that multiple individuals involved with the incident Saturday have been arrested. I mean, I don't know how much longer we can tolerate this. You know? I don't know, how much longer we can tolerate this as a society. And the fact of the matter is, it's only one community, really. Asmongold accurately pointed out that the bottom 2% of society holds the top 98% of society under oppression, and it does. We can't enjoy anything because of youths. Because of youths. Okay? What's this? What's this video here?
Yuri Alexandrovich Bezmenov.
Oh,
Mr.
Yuri Bezmenov
was born in 1939.
Yeah, this is a Yuri Bezmenov video. Very good interview. Everyone should watch it. Pay attention to the hair of that little black criminal in the white shirt after she hits the ground. Why? What happened here? Did it fall off? Oh, ha, ha, ha. You lost your wig, girl. Your wig's gone. Now, I don't know if this guy in the hoodie is trying to help or not. Because, nope, he's grappling with the officer. They're trying to basically free their comrade there. I mean, I don't care that, to me, it's no different to me that officers got hurt here. It'd be no different if it was just another white person getting ruthlessly pummeled, which happens all the time. Like, this is the society we live in. Now, of course, it's not all black people. It's not. But it is very, very weird that it almost is, always. And there's only two ways to fix this, okay? The first way is that their own community grows, changes its culture, and decides to live like civilized human beings. That's the best solution. That's a solution that I want. I want them to take responsibility for their own actions, for their own community, and be better. And there are lots of black folks in the black community that speak out against this. The other way isn't going to be so nice. The other way is it's not going to be nice. Orrin McIntyre writes, quote, teen takeovers is just the latest euphemism for normalizing race riots. Young black people organize mass vandalism, and everyone is too scared to admit the demographic nature of the phenomenon, so we get, quote, changing consumer habits. Well, no, I'm not afraid to admit it. It's young black men. That's who it is. Now, I have seen videos of us whites acting the fool at these teen takeover events. So I'm not going to say it's specifically only black folks. That's not true, but it is by far mostly. Here's Newport Beach. Just people trying to enjoy the holidays, right? 4th of July at the pier. How does it happen here? I mean, by the way, later that night, Newport, rioting and looting. Look at all this garbage they left behind. Looks like a lot of watermelon smashed there. Seems odd. And look at here. Here's a bunch of white kids standing around. Now, are they participating in it? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. But I mean, these takeovers it's just a rebrand. It's a leftoid way of saying, well, we know it's them again, but we can't say that. Now, some people looking at those busted up watermelons are referring to them as hatched eggs. I don't know what that means. But again, Milwaukee is where I live. Just a little north of this. This is over on Water Street. Used to be a place I spent a lot of time in my 20s. Really nice area. Let's see here. By the way, it's usually the women that start a lot of this stuff. I'm just saying. You know, it's usually just the women that are starting all this stuff. Later in that video, there was an officer, another female officer. Now, again, look, I know I have 2, maybe 3% female viewership here, so I'm not trying to say hashtag all women. There are plenty of like obese, overweight male cops that shouldn't be cops either. But when you've got like somebody from the Lollipop Guild here. Now, it looks like they had some sort of thing that here explodes on the ground. Okay, there's obviously some shrapnel there, whatever happened. And let's see what happened to the female officer.
Damn!
And she's down. You know? Like, this is what these teen takeovers are. It's a bunch of hood rats acting like hood rats. People get hurt. Things get damaged. You know, property gets damaged. People get hurt. All this kind of stuff. I mean, what other word is there for it? I can't think of one. You know, I mean, it's the same people over and over and over again. Who's helping a white lady? You know, it's again, it's not. It's just that the media likes to rebrand all this stuff. Here's Asmongold again saying the quiet part out loud.
You'd be the only white in the takeover? It is overwhelmingly black. Usually is. Yeah, I mean, the teen takeovers, I mean, I think that we everybody knows this, right? I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm pretending not to see it. I'm pretending not to notice it, right? But, like, very clearly, the teen takeovers are, like, overwhelmingly 90+% black. And in a lot of these cases, they're, like, 100% black.
Correct. And it's a riot. That's what it is. And our media just keeps saying, oh, it's a teen takeover. It's a teen takeover. No, it isn't. It's mobs of roving inner city black youth that are ruining everything for everybody else. That's what it is. It literally is. I mean, that's it. It's just roving gangs of inner city black youth ruining everything because they have no respect. They've got no long-term goals. They've got no values system. They've got no fathers in the home. They go out and ruin everything. It's just, and we put up with it. Our cities are war zones. You can't imagine like, oh, you think you could go to the, you know, if you went to the beach in the 70s in downtown Milwaukee, you would see nothing like this. But it's, you know, youths. It's youths. And they get excused in media. So the media excuses their behavior, so why wouldn't they do it? You know? Why wouldn't they do it? There's no consequences. There's no, you know, none of them. It's impossible to arrest them because there's so many. They're acting like animals. But our government and our local news and things like that, you know, they want this. They want people living in fear. They want us staying inside. We are truly being held captive by the bottom 2% of society. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. There's just no excusing it. My wife said my truck lights are on. Now I can have a dead battery added to my list of terrible things. going on this week. It's okay. I'm blessed. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to go check that out because I don't want the battery to die in my truck. I'll be right back. I'll put the countdown back up. I'll be right back. Women. It wasn't. The lights weren't on. But it's better to check it because I don't want the battery to be dead. All right. Yeah, I don't know. The battery in that truck has a tendency of dying because I don't drive it that much. So I don't want it to have a dead battery. Let's see. We're back. I do keep it on a trickle charger now. The battery, it's a 2022, so it probably got built in 2021, so the battery's 5 years old. It probably needs a new battery in general, but all those like modern electronics and stuff like that in these cars, they they drain those batteries real quick. And so that's another part of it, you know. But ever since I put it on it, I just threw a trickle charger on it. It's been fine. Yeah, that's what I did. And I bought one of those like quick connect things. So it's just like just a wiring harness that hangs inside the hood. So I don't even have to open the hood. Just pop the hood, plug in the trickle charger, and then when I want to leave, disconnect the trickle charger, close the hood. The battery in my shitbox Death Trap AB car didn't go dead, and it sat for 12 months. Well, yeah, your shitbox A to B car, though, doesn't have, like, computers and software updates and all this other bullshit that drain the battery. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's all this computer nonsense in the new vehicles. I need a new battery for the truck, but I was thinking about trading it in on a new truck, so I didn't want to spend $200 on a battery or $300 on a battery. So I've been waiting, looking at trading it in for a new truck, but then I got injured, so I'm not sure. Either I replace the battery and it probably needs new tires and I keep it for another 2 or 3 years, or I trade it in and get a new vehicle. I got my eye on something. But, you know, either that or I throw new tires on it. I mean, it's a 2022 and I only have 11,000 miles on it. So I don't drive a lot. 2022, 11,100 miles on it. Truck's still worth a pile of money. But there's something new I want. So we'll see. Battery might have a 5-year warranty. Nah. Not the one that came. It's the one that came in it. There's almost no chance. Yeah, upgrade it before the spyware gets installed that tells us if we're drunk or not. Yeah, automatically calls the police on you. Don't let envy push you towards making a decision. Nice shiny new ride is attractive. Well, I'm not envious of anybody. It's 2022. You know, there's some creature comforts that come in 2026 that I like, and you know, $1,200 for tires is insane. I'd rather buy a new truck. Oh, tires are insanely expensive. It's for this truck. I had a flat and it'll be $1,200 to $1,500 for new tires. I remember paying $79.99 a tire, and then you get a fourth one free. I used to go to Walmart specifically. They like buy 3 get 1 free or Tires Plus, and be like $350 for new tires. Not so much anymore. Go to Tire Streets. I use Tire Rack. They seem pretty competitive. Tire Rack's pretty good. But people get butthurt when you bring the tires in. They're like, hey, you didn't buy tires from us, so we can't. I always will call and I'll say, like, hey, I'm going to buy tires from Tire Rack unless you can match it. And sometimes they'll match it. I'll say, like, hey, I need you to put the tires on and balance them. Or they basically come pre-balanced now, don't they? But, like, I'll call before I order them. I'll call the place that I have to, have the tires put on. And I'll say, like, here's what I'm going to pay on Tire Rack. If you can match it, I'll buy from you. Otherwise, I'll have the tires delivered to you, and you could put them on. And they usually will match it. I think only one time they couldn't. Pay it off and keep it till it dies. Make smart financial decisions. Brother, I paid cash for it. 11,000 miles, you need new tires. Yeah, because they're the stock tires, and they're the stupid, ridiculous, like, Baja tires. They're not for the They're not for streets really, so they get worn down really quick. I don't need them, but they're those stupid like chunky Baja tires that they put on that particular truck. They don't last that long. I've had places get pissy just for wanting mounting. Yeah, exactly. So I said, well, then don't rip me off on the tires. I'll pay you for the mounting. I'll buy the tires from you. But why would I pay $400 more? You know what I mean? Like, don't rip me off on the tires. I'm not some like single mom coming in there who's just not going to know that not going to know I can go get tires at more affordable prices. Discount tire is great too. True. Yep. I haven't paid to have tires mounted in 30 years. Well, I mean, look. What do you want me to do? Only bought one new vehicle in my 58 years, a 26 Grand Caravan SXT. I was just going to say, I bet you it still's driving. 2006, I said, I bet you it still drives. Dodge doesn't really make much that's good, but their Caravan is industry standard. I would never own a Dodge otherwise, but if I had to get a minivan, it would be a Dodge minivan, 100%. Same problem with stock Dunlop tires that came with my car. They don't last long in a full set. It's a 1300. Yeah, exactly. These new cars, they cheap out on every, like a lot of times people who haven't bought a new car in a while, they're like, that's crazy. Brother, they cheap out on everything. They put the shittiest possible battery in the car. They put the shittiest possible tires on the car. Like the whole thing, like, oh, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 miles on tires. Yeah, no. No. 100% not getting that on a brand new car. On the second set you buy, sure. You want a battery that lasts 8 to 10 years like they used to in the dealership? Sure, that didn't happen anymore either. Yeah, it's annoying. Everybody buying these giant mud whomper tires, driving around pavement and watch them go bald in 2 months. That's what came on my truck. That's what came on the truck, and it was like, I'm looking at them. I'm like, these things are roached already, and there's only 11,000 miles on it. Toyota hasn't changed the Frontier in years. Is that their little truck? Like the Colorado or the, you know? To be fair, you're paying them to look up, order, and deal with the warranty. If you buy them from the rack, you're responsible for the warranty, not the shop. 100% true. I'm willing to pay a little bit more. I'm not like totally like, if the tires were $1,200 from Tire Rack and $1,350 from the local place, I would buy from the local place. You know, Toyota Sienna, and you'll get 400,000 miles out of it. Toyota. Let's see. I like those little trucks. I had a Colorado for a long time. That truck was great. It had an inline 5. Everyone was like, oh, it sucks. You won't be able to do this, that, or the other thing. I did everything I wanted with that truck. I hauled stuff, had boat trailer, all that stuff. No problem. I got 50,000 miles on my truck tires, but I got a dually and do truck things with it. Yeah, I don't do truck things with my truck. You need to update show times. I was just late today. This isn't the, this isn't the new time. All right, let's get into these other topics I got. Get a Dodge Ram Rumble. I will never buy a Dodge. And it's their own fault. I really, really, really wanted, like, what was it? The Challenger Red Dot. But they have the resale value is so brutal. Like, they're the worst. I wanted a TRX. I would probably own a TRX. But like, you can't buy a Dodge. Like Dodge, you just take such a bath on resale. Now, if you're going to drive it forever, it doesn't matter. If you're going to drive it forever, it doesn't matter. But if you're someone like me and you get a new car every 5 years, can't buy Dodge because you'll get totally butt fucked. Can't do it. I wanted a TRX. They seem to hold value okay. All their cars, they drop like a stone. You know, I'm not even saying they're good or bad vehicles. I'm just saying I'm not trying to lose 50% of my... Wait, your Rumble banner still shows 2 p.m. and 1 p.m. on Fridays. Oh, thank you. Let me update that. I'm going to tell my editor right now. Thank you. So Monday through Friday at 9 Eastern, Tuesday and Thursday. Bonus shows Tuesday and Thursday, 2 Eastern. Okay. Many people financially stressed in please have some empathy. 10 minutes, fine. Please move on. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. I'm just interacting with the chat. I apologize. You shouldn't take me talking about vehicles like some sort of like slight on you. I don't mean it that way. I mean, I've driven a beater with a heater most of my life. I had a 96 Ford Tempo, followed by a 98 Buick Skylark, followed by a 2000 Chevy Cavalier. And after the Cavalier, I drove that for like 10, 12 years. Got my first big job. And I bought a 2006 Chevy Colorado, which I drove for 10 years. And then YouTube got good. And so I drove a Raptor after that, and then a Shelby F-150, and now I'm looking at something else. But I don't mean anything by it. I'm not trying to flex. I assure you. That's not who I am. I don't flex. I think that's cringe. I'm not trying to. If it's coming off that way, I apologize. Just talking about trucks with my viewers, that's all. I'm tired of crossovers. Let me have a real sedan. Dude, even Tesla got rid of their Model S, right? So my mom, oh my God. My wife has a Model S. She loves it. And now they got rid of the full-size sedan. You know? So she's like, I'm going to keep it forever. I understand. Like, the full-size sedan is dead. They want everybody in these crossovers, which my wife doesn't like. She just likes a regular full-size car. Just like her husband. She likes her cars like she likes her husband's. Regular and full-sized. 1980 Chevy Corvette with visible pavement through the floor, $300. Hey, somebody will buy that. Somebody will buy that. Well, what a brutal weekend for Zoran Mamdani. The guy is completely a joke without any punchline. And over the weekend, thanks to his anti-American speech and his heat wave telling New Yorkers to leave their thermostats at 78 degrees, which I don't even have my thermostat set that high in the winter, was a wild thing to see. And over the weekend, he issued a bunch of tweets trying to sound mayoral, I guess you could say. This guy, I'm telling you, people keep saying it's not a gift. It's not a gift. He's the biggest gift to the Republican Party that anyone could hope for if you're in the Midwest. If you're in the Midwest. People in New York City, they're like battered spouses. They're just so used to it being so bad that they actually like this guy. But he put this video out. There's this video and several tweets that simply did not go very well. He put this out using, I think, George Washington's desk, I believe, and purposely put it out to talk about how America bad and had 0 white people in it.
At City Hall, as I sit behind George Washington's desk, alongside new Americans who came...
George Washington is rolling over in his grave that this commie scum is using his desk.
...to this country. I cannot see all of America. But like so many who came before, I can see New York.
Not one white person. Not one. Oh, wait, maybe back here, maybe, but he looks like he could be Arab.
New York City. The city I see today looks very different than the one that greeted George Washington. In July of 1776, our city simmered under the yoke of oppression. The British had imposed a colonial rule so repressive that 250 years ago, 80 miles south, a small group of newspaper editors, farmers, and soldiers signed their names on a document declaring truths that feel self-evident now, but were revolutionary then, establishing the ideals our nation still strives to fulfill. The British did not take it well. War broke out, and that August, as the largest battle of the Revolutionary War unfolded in Brooklyn, batteries on Governor's Island took aim at British ships anchored just offshore.
Not one descendant of the brave men that fought for the freedom of this country. And just know that that is a purposeful decision. That is a decision he made on purpose. Not a single descendant of somebody's family whose blood poured on the ground of this country to fight for our freedom, but a bunch of immigrants and hijabis that came afterwards and fought for nothing. Not that I fought for anything, but at least my ancestors did.
We were outgunned. We were outmanned.
No, you fought for nothing.
Soundly defeated. After only a few months, it appeared our fledgling attempt at democracy.
By the way, people are roasting him for having the desk backwards. It's actually not true. This desk has drawers on both sides. I know it's a funny meme, but this desk has drawers on both sides.
Precipice of collapse. But that night, with the moon overhead, thousands of our soldiers silently climbed into ferries and flat-bottom boats.
Our soldiers.
To Manhattan. The Continental Army survived to fight another day.
This loser knows nothing of the history of this country. In fact, he despises it. He blasts capitalism, foreign wars in his America's 250th address while sitting at George Washington's desk while he did it. That's who New York foolishly elected. The socialist mayor called out the powerful who treat American ideals as given only to the select few, as he elevated the plight and contributions of downtrodden Americans, slaves, Continental Army soldiers, and immigrants. Immigrants did not fight for this country. Maybe they did in World War II or World War I. That you could make that argument, but they did not fight for this country's freedom from Britain. I mean, I guess technically they were immigrants, but you get what I'm saying. I didn't see any Ugandans on the front lines. Did you? And this guy is such a clown. Like, look at this too. This is great. Yesterday, during Friday's prayers at the Muslim Center of New York, which shouldn't exist in any city, by the way, a man reached into his pocket and the congregants saw what looked like a weapon, creating a terrifying situation for Muslim New Yorkers who had gathered to worship. Editor's note, that man was Muslim. Just you know, I got to keep it 100, right? Editor's note, that man was Muslim. Sorry, not sorry. I'm immensely grateful and relieved that an MTA employee, a cab driver, and NYPD officer acted quickly to ensure that no one was hurt. Every New Yorker should be able to observe their religion without fear or intimidation. Tell that to Christians. And I know this might not be popular with the entirety of my audience, but tell that to Jewish people. I know that the branding for that particular group of people isn't great right now, but if anybody has to fear their lives while they're at church, it's them. It's not people in mosques. By the way, the man who stormed the mosque in NYC yesterday did actually have a weapon that it fired BBs. He was also Muslim. It was an important detail that Mamdani's post accidentally left out because he wanted to imply that it was a white person. That is the single solitary sole reason for this post. He wanted to imply that it was a white person, but it wasn't. It was, in fact, a fellow practicer of the religion of peace that was there doing that. Let's look at this post. Today marks 250 years since a small group of newspaper editors, farmers, and soldiers signed a document declaring our nation's independence. It's not your nation. Uganda is your nation. Go back. A truth that feels self-evident now, but was revolutionary then. What a privilege us Americans have to live in a nation that every one of its inhabitants can shape. I don't like that, actually. I don't like that every one of our inhabitants can shape how this country is going forward. Call me a racist. I don't care. I don't like that. I think that a small group of people who, have this country's best interest in mind should probably shape the way this country goes, not foreign hordes. Today and all days, let us remember that patriotism is not pretending our nation is without flaws. These people have to be the absolute worst people to get. It's like a nightmare blunt rotation. These people who, on every chance they get, hate on this country, hate on its ideals, hate on what was built here. I don't want them here. Let's go to the replies. F yourself, commie swine. Your anti-American subversive actions speak louder than your anus-licking tongue. 30.1 thousand likes. You sound like a communist trying to say he's a communist. Faking love for a country is a little more difficult than faking smiles. Fake and phony. Here's Mamdani 2 years after citizenship, by the way, flipping off Columbus and saying to take it down. I thought he was proud to be an American, where at least he knows he's free. He doesn't want statues of Christopher Columbus. Tell us more about your views of America. Here's Zoran Mamdani hanging out with liberal influencer Hassan Piker. Hassan repeatedly said America deserved what happened on 9/11, and Mamdani calls him a friend. Franklin reminds Zoran Mamdani that he isn't fooling anybody. I mean, this is a guy whose wife skipped America's 250th celebrations to jet off to Spain to a Muslim spiritual wellness retreat. This is a woman that hates this country and probably directs him to do everything he can to destroy it. According to the New York Post, his American-sounding Duwaji wife spent July 4th at an Islamic spiritual wellness retreat on the Spanish island of Mallorca. Zoran Mamdani's wife skipped celebrating America's 250th birthday by going to an Islamic spiritual wellness retreat. She ditched America to an 10-day, $3,400 Plants of the Quran retreat in Spain as Americans celebrated Independence Day, he added. And by the way, apparently she can't walk. She has to be wheeled around. Maybe she's injured. I don't know. Doesn't look injured in this picture. Just looks ugly. Funny how when Zoran Mamdani was telling New Yorkers to lower their AC, his wife, Rama Dujwani, was boarding a flight to party in Mallorca. Reminder that I can't tag her because she deleted her account after her insanely offensive tweets were discovered. Champagne socialists. She doesn't look injured to me. Maybe she has a lower body injury. I don't know. illustrator and ceramist Duwaji is serving as an artist in residence and co-host of a sold-out retreat organized by the Women's Sanctuary. The 6-day event, Plants of the Quran, began on Wednesday and runs through Monday, with attendees paying $3,400 just to take part in it. According to the organization's website, the retreat explores plants mentioned in Islamic scripture through art, botanical workshops, and spiritual reflection. I mean, throw the hot dogs, macaroni, and fireworks in the garbage. We got to get out there and understand the plants of the Quran. Every tweet this loser puts out gets absolutely ratioed. And by the way, here he's butthurt about the Team America player that Trump got his red card reversed so he could play tonight against Belgium. I prefer not to speak, he says. So even as a mayor of America's biggest city, New York City, he is openly against Team America getting their player back. This guy is an absolute clown. You know, last night in Coney Island, 8 people, including 4 youths, received unwanted lead injections when a, quote, family barbecue was shattered by an unconscionable act of attack. Show a picture of who did it, Zoran. Wasn't a white guy. We all know that. Oh, you guys, you know, the heat wave is broken, but now we have to be worried about floods. This is supposed to be America's greatest city? You got to be kidding me. Happy Venezuelan Independence Day. Oh, he put that out on July 5th. Did he put out a happy Independence Day for America on the 4th? No. He put a bunch of immigrants on camera and said, white people bad. Watching this speech again makes me realize that even though it's been slammed over the past day, it deserves even more condemnation. It's such a terrible message. Immigrants who built New York City, foreigners who now live in New York City. I mean, this guy's an absolute joke, and he's a gift to Republicans, at least in my opinion. In my opinion, he's a gift because there's just simply no better gift than a full-blown communist saying America sucks. I mean, that's essentially what this guy does. He says America bad, full-blown communist. If Republicans don't seize on what New York has continued to become in the midterms, it would be a foolish mistake. A single line from the Trump campaign won him the election in the toss-up states. Do you remember what it was? He's for you. She's for they, them. That is the line that won him the battleground states. And they ran it in every single commercial, nonstop, on repeat. It's because Americans are sick and tired of people, you know, whose last names they can't pronounce, telling them that their city, you know, their country is not good. Mamdani is a joke, but you know what? They voted for him, and you get what you asked for. You get what you voted for. So enjoy it, New Yorkers. Hopefully, the rest of the states in the union can use his clownness to get better people in office during these midterms. Mr. Tough Guy says his wife's getting rolled around after having a monthly Islamic train ran on her to gain the hall pass, as Mamdani needs to break the laws of Islam to continue to take over the USA. Yeah. I mean, it's very telling, isn't it? Mamdani, his, you know, rise to power is not surprising to me. It didn't shock me at all. Because when we already have morons like AOC, who, by the way, is running for president. AOC is going to run for president. Make no mistake about it. That's happening. Now we have the Erica Kirk story. Charlie, Candace Owens, Erica Kirk. Dave Chappelle roasting CNN. We've got quite a few stories left. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Got about 5,000 wonderful people watching on Rumble right now. If you're watching on Rumble and you enjoy the show, remember to click through to my name and follow the channel. It takes just a second. I know a lot of people just watch when we're on the homepage. We won't always be on the homepage, so, make sure you do that. And then, again, huge shout out to Rumble in every way, shape, or form. It's one of the few sites out there that continues to support free speech. We've got a story. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today based on how much time we have. But we have a story on how the UK government is trying to control the YouTube algorithm. Now, this isn't exactly surprising. It isn't exactly surprising. The United States tried to do this during COVID. The United States tried to, they did. They didn't try. They successfully got basically every social media website to come together and stop people from having opinions that maybe differed from the mainstream one. I'm not even saying that, every person's opinion during COVID was right, but I am saying that the U.S. government made sure that everyone couldn't have opinions. It's just, it's crazy to me. And Rumble stood against that. Rumble pushed back when Brazil tried to censor them, and when France tried to censor them, and I'm sure they will push back if the UK tries to as well. Do I have a Rumble premium discount code? Well, if you sign up on my page, I know I'll get credit for it, and I think they're doing $10 off right now. But I'm not totally sure. You could try the quartering one word and see if it works. I used to have one for 10% off. Let's see here. It's finally happening. He's oh yeah, that's the I'm watching in real time the Tyler Robinson trial too, because this is the preliminary hearing going on right now, and we're seeing all the evidence that's being provided by the prosecution. I'm sure Candace Owens is gonna have a really bad day. Let's see. Okay, well, let's get to this next topic, huh? All right. Today marks the beginning of the Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing, and at that hearing, we will be presented something like over 20 different pieces of evidence against Tyler Robinson. Many pieces of evidence, for the most part, we already know about, but we will see them in specificity because the cameras are allowed in the courtroom. Things like the Discord confession, the phone call confession, the written confession, photographs of his car at UVU, photographs of him at UVU, perhaps testimony from his lover, Lance Twiggs, who we know it was recorded. And Lance Twiggs almost certainly will out him and say that he was, the perpetrator behind Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, I happen to believe that Lance Twiggs was involved. I can't prove it. I don't have the same astral projection powers that Candace Owens does. I don't know, but I know kind of stuff. But I think there's enough evidence to show, to at least assume that Lance Twiggs at least knew about it, right? So over the weekend, knowing that this preliminary hearing was coming, Candace Owens has been on a full-blown meltdown. And Andrew Colvette from TPUSA has been battering her. And it seems like the tides are changing a little bit. There's a little more pushback going on. It starts with this video from Data Republican, which I want to share with you. Data Republican does excellent work. This is a thread. Candace Owens on Erica Kirk in her own words, right? Candace yesterday pre-spun a national contagion research report that she hadn't even read, calling it Zionist. The report is Candace's own show. It doesn't accuse her of anything. It's just footage that she does. Before the investigation, Candace spent 40 episodes defending Erica Kirk, calling her a genuinely nice person. She swore that nobody outside of my husband and Erica Kirk had the power to shut her up, and she told her audiences that she would stop if Erica asked. Erica then asked her to stop. Candace did not stop. She couldn't. The investigation had become her primary subscription product. So she revoked Erica's authority in the only way she could, by making Erica untrustworthy. No new evidence appeared between the praise and the accusations, just a new business model. And this business need may very well end up in tragedy. Here's Candace and her audience in their own words. Credit to SK Double Dub for the music. As always, patience as I pull the thread together. Here's Candace on Erica Kirk.
Wedding, and then came the children. You know, Charlie really loved Erica from a time I'm reading through the text today. Just loved her. He loved his family. He really did. And I came there, and she was just lovely. She was genuinely such a nice person. I was like, Charlie, just go for it. Just go for it. But I know that Charlie was very happy with Erica, and I know that Erica was she really is just the moment. The speech that she gave, everybody was just...
I mean, this is, again, if you watch Candace Owens for entertainment, I'm not going to tell you to not watch her, right? But I'm going to tell you she's a dirty, dirty liar. And her own words betray her. Even if you believe that certain foreign nations were behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, I don't believe that. But if you believe that, maybe we'll see evidence at trial, okay? This is a woman that has lied repeatedly and for a career. And nearly every lie now, she knows, will be debunked by the trial, which starts today, at least a preliminary hearing. And they're catching up to her.
I think it was the most consequential speech in American history. A message that everyone needed to hear, including myself. A message of complete sadness. We were grieving with her. Was when his wife, Mrs. Erica Kirk, addressed not just the nation, but the entire world.
This is her
the world
praising Erica
obviously
Kirk, by the way.
have been moved by Erica's commitment to her Christian faith. The strength, obviously, that it takes for her to... It's been... You could see the energy. She's going to fight. She's going to fight, and she is going to fight on the good side, because every woman would know what her husband's going through. So I can't even imagine. So are we. I love that you show Erica love and support. I do wish there was some sign that we could...
Here she is protecting Erica Kirk.
The first thing that I think I should make abundantly clear is I am relieved that Erica Kirk is at the head of Turning Point USA.
Whoa, wait a minute. For the last 10 months, you've said that you think it's a catastrophic mistake that Erica Kirk is heading TPUSA. It's almost like a giant sum of money magically appeared in her pocket. I'm not saying that happened. I don't know. I just had a dream about it. I had a dream about it. I can't say it's, I don't know, but I know. I had an astral projection. Streetlights flickered. I know.
Because just like I alluded to last week, and which I will double down out of a loyalty to Erica, he also doesn't want to give more. Make sure that I secured the footage so that Erica would not have to see it again.
Here's Owens defending Erica Kirk against her critics. Now, understand, the key here, the important thing here is to understand that nothing changed except the money. There was no new piece of evidence that Erica Kirk was untrustworthy. This nonsense she made up about trafficking is completely debunked. Nothing changed except the money. Never forget Candace Owens. You can always Google up Candace Owens and a website called Social Autopsy. You'll find some interesting things about your free speech right-wing queen.
But also the nastiness towards Catholics just needs to stop, point blank. I mean, Erica Kirk, just unfair criticisms of people that are attacking Erica. And I'll tell you why I feel that those criticisms are unfair. It genuinely was to pray for Erica a couple of days ago, and I said she is stepping into...
If there's one person I don't want praying for me, it's Candace Owens. Because I'm pretty sure she's not praying upwards.
That you saw or checked, that was not written by Erica Kirk. That will be an entire department, and these... you should know that those decisions are not made by Erica. That's what it means to step into a company. You got my attention.
What lie has Erica told that I'm supposed to be focused on? Okay.
Wait, what? I thought she said innumerable lies, Candace. I mean, this is just a small taste. You should watch the video again. Candace built 4 mutually exclusive theories about who took Charlie Kirk's life. Each version contradicts the last. None of them had a single name source. The closest thing Owens ever came to offering actual receipts is declaring a .30-06 could not have possibly taken Kirk and left no exit wound, one that is easily debunked by searching counterexamples. You can see hunting photos of deer, and then other examples of the bullet being retained in the spinal cord and vertebrae. It's very, very common. I mean, it's definitely something that happens. Then there's a report that maps Candace's works as permission structure for something much more ugly. Stage 1, she dehumanized Erica. Grieving wife becomes the pageant girl. Stage 2, she stripped her of her grief during Operation Warp Widow. How are emotional assets doing? Mocked the widow's scriptures, an infamous "that's not a real person." Stage 3, make harm feel deserved. Compare Erica to Corey Richens, a Utah woman convicted of poisoning her husband. Then stage 4, attacks become conceivable. Candace denies she's accused Erica of murder, but her audience certainly has gotten that message. What's most alarming of all is her audience has started writing the ending. They predict her death, pre-written alibis. If something happens to Erica Kirk, it reads as a confirmation of the conspiracy, not a tragedy. I mean, the whole thing is crazy. Andrew Colvett just tweeted, Candace, you and Charlie were not friends. He managed you. He kept things light and polite so you would not turn on the organization. Show me any proof of a genuine friendship from the last 12 months of his life, from the last 18 months, from the last 24 months. Not some 2018 text, something recent. You gave him anxiety whenever you called or texted demanding to speak at our events. He made me or Justin deal with you and George. This is why when you tried to hire me in February of 2024 for PR, I agreed to go along with it against my better judgment because Charlie asked me to keep you close to protect the organization from you. The publicist I tried to hire to run Point prayed about it and felt the Lord told her a firm no. And so I ultimately declined. This is your central foundational lie. You were not Charlie Kirk's friend. You were not his defender. You were his tormentor. And now you torment his wife in the organization he built. Candace, you are a fraud. She then put this out on Sean Ryan, of course, where she makes up a complete nonsense phone call that never happened. I talked to Andrew directly about this. She made this claim because, it's popular. She's like, Netanyahu is going to buy out TPUSA. I know this. I don't know this, but I know this. Netanyahu did not offer TPUSA millions of dollars. It's literally just an internet rumor popularized by the crank Max Blumenthal. Even if Netanyahu had offered, Charlie would not and could not have accepted because TPUSA cannot accept foreign money. Even if Netanyahu had done so, which again, he did not, and Charlie Kirk could accept, he couldn't, and had Charlie Kirk asked my opinion, he also did not, I would have told him to turn it down. I did not lose millions when Charlie Kirk turned down said money that was never offered in the first place because he could never have accepted it. Candace Owens, of course, claimed that TPUSA was for sale and Bibi Netanyahu was going to buy it. And then when he was turning on Israel, another thing she basically completely made up from an out of context, frustrated text message about a particular donor. None of this happened. Everything Candace Owens has said has been a complete lie. She is a psycho ex-girlfriend. There's no doubt in my mind that she loved Charlie Kirk and wanted to be Erica Kirk. There's no doubt in my mind that that is why she is acting the way she is. I have exactly zero to do with fundraising. In fact, it was my one stipulation I made to Charlie years ago when we started working together. Nothing against it. It's just not my thing. I never told Candace any of this because it never happened. I never told any family members of this either because, again, it never happened. This is what she does. She makes up insane lies and then she says, you have to debunk it. Remember, harassed that poor kid who happened to be wearing a maroon shirt just because it was the same color of their soccer team, doxed him on the internet so bad that he had to come out and issue some public statement that no, in fact, he wasn't involved in the assassination. Remember when she harassed Erica Kirk's ex-boyfriend and made him release his text messages and geolocation of everywhere where he was to debunk yet another lie that she made up? By the way, she has at least 2 ongoing lawsuits right now over defamation, and I would hope TPUSA would do something. I don't know why they don't. I guess they view it as, probably smartly, like Candace Owens is not talking to anybody who would support TPUSA anyway. She's talking mostly to foreign bots. By the way, today, just so you say this, just to give you an idea of the evidence that Tyler Robinson will be presented today. Drone images of UVU, Exhibit 1, 2, and 3. 3.1, photo of the screwdriver. 3.2, daytime photo of the sniper perch. 4 and 5, photos of the perch. Video 6, video of mother with a child in the crowd. 6.1, written statement. A video of the shooting from behind questionnaire. Written statement of T. Phillips, video of the incident from Charlie Kirk, written statement from TPUSA, video of it from behind the booth, photo of the rifle in the bushes, DNA evidence, medical examiner report, written statement of C. Noble, written statement of Mike Mitchell, video at WCSO, recorded statement of Lance Twiggs. That's getting played today. We're going to have that video. We're going to have the video of Lance Twiggs, I'm sure, saying, yes, obviously, Tyler Robinson did it. Right? That's going to be the most brutal bombshell. She will not be able to explain away any of this because she's never been interested in the truth at all. She lies saying that, as a follow-up separate question, did you know anything about the alleged $150 million Bibi offered for an anti-Tucker Carlson campaign? What? She lies. She makes up lies. Moves the goalposts, lies again. She is getting desperate. She's going to get more sloppy, and she's going to get more lawsuits. Of this, I am sure. Remember when she said that Erica Kirk was involved in trafficking? Yeah, there was zero evidence of that, yet that continues to be something that people brought up. There's no evidence that Erica Kirk is banned from Romania, which, of course, remember that cuckoo bird went on Caleb Hammer's financial audit and said that as a fact that she was banned from Romania. That was a lie perpetrated and spread by Candace Owens. Again, Candace Owens admitting she has zero proof. I asked for proof, and she screams, I'll take a lie detector test, guys, I promise. She's adding caveats, hedging, and changing her story. It's important to point out what she did here. The psychology of it behind it is wild. She gets called out on a bald-faced lie, a central lie to her entire narrative, then immediately retreats back to 2 true things that are insignificant in an attempt to convert truth into the original key lie. Is that called the Mott? It's a debate tactic called the Mott and Bailey. Is that what she's doing? It's very difficult to debate because it's a scumbag tactic. Yes, we politely declined having Netanyahu on the show. So what? And months later, Charlie Kirk took a call from him after he wrote him a letter. Again, so what? Neither are extraordinary. Neither explain her next ridiculous leap that Netanyahu offered to take TPUSA to the next level, that I lost out on millions or billions of dollars when Charlie Kirk declined. This is a complete lie that she made up. Originally, I was supposed to be her source for this fairy tale, but I deny it. So all she has left is to say it's a friend of the family, someone in general familial, quote, orbit. Originally, it was about taking TPUSA to the next level, but now apparently TPUSA wasn't really going to get any of that money, only the Charlie Kirk show. She can't admit to her audience that she's just wrong about this because it's a core fundamental myth fueling her daily YouTube soap opera where she is the only one actually making millions of dollars. She has no proof, and she knows it. She probably fell for an internet rumor from whack job Max Blumenthal, and now she's flailing to save face. Enjoy the show. That's exactly what's happening. She's in complete and utter panic. It's all out war right now, and she's losing, rightfully so. I mean, I don't have any problem. Again, if you like to watch Candace Owens, you should watch Candace Owens. I'm not here to tell anyone to not watch somebody or to try and, I'm just here to use my small platform to say, well, what she's saying is lies. All she does is lie. And it is absolutely wild. By the way, I am on preliminary trial watch right now because we're going to see the video. Let me see here. Lance Twiggs video. Once we see that video, I mean, her entire this is an old video. Prosecutors will play the video from Tyler Robinson's trans partner Lance Twiggs at July Kirk murdering hearing. I don't know if we're going to get it today. I think we will. I assume here we go. Justin, preliminary hearing of the assassination of Charlie Kirk has officially begun. This was 3 hours ago. Erica Kirk is there, by the way.
Richard Novak and Stacy Visser here on behalf of Mr. Robinson, who's seated to my right.
Good morning. Mr. Robinson, good morning.
Get fricked.
For the record,
Tyler
the court
Robinson
also recognizes the presence of Miss Erica Kirk. Miss Kirk, good morning.
Excuse me.
First, with respect to courtroom protocol, to maintain security and decorum, any individual who exits the courtroom during proceedings will not be permitted to re-enter until the recess.
Well, hope everybody went to the bathroom, he's saying. Let's see if we have any. Yeah, Tyler Robinson already, or Candace Owens already running damage control. Today, the Tyler Robinson show trial begins. Show trial. Meaning it's, of course, fake. But if you're watching the show right now, you see me on the Rumble homepage. I see you and I appreciate you. I have one tiny favor to ask. That is to click through on my name, The Quartering, and follow the channel. We're live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, although we may move back to the 2 p.m. Eastern time slot. But we also have additional shows, on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Melanie Mack. And we have a new special co-host coming. We have a new special co-host joining the show later this week. Full time. Should be pretty interesting. And I want to take this second quick here to shout out Rumble Premium because it's the #1 way to support Rumble, free speech platform and supporter of all opinions. You probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering a $10 off annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO, that's one word, at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and the content you actually care about. That's the deal. Yeah, new co-host coming starting, I think, later this week or next week. Any guesses? Anybody? Any guesses? Here we have witnesses being called to the stand.
I could see the right side of Charlie's shoulder.
You can only hear it in your left ear, apparently.
He was underneath the tent, so I could only see probably the right side of his body. He was answering a question. Kid asked him a question, and then I heard a shot fired.
Do you know what time that was?
Yes.
What time was that?
12:23.
What did you see?
At that moment, I saw him lean to the left. So
when you say him, you
Charlie.
Charlie.
So I saw him go to the left because I could no longer see the right side of his body. So he went further underneath the tent to the north side of the tent, so left.
Okay. Can you describe the reaction of others that were there?
Yeah, so then everybody started getting up and starting to run in more of a chaos kind of situation.
Before you continue, can you describe a little bit? So you mentioned Mr. Kirk was answering questions, talking to individuals.
Yes.
Were there others present?
Yes.
Any idea about approximately how many? How would you describe it in your terms?
In my terms, I'd say when I was up there looking down, I'd say there were several thousand people because you had it on the grass that was jam-packed, in the amphitheater sitting on the grass. You had people standing on the back up along the cement. You had people that were on the second level, the Sorensen, and over by the Woodbury building. There was another level there where a lot of people were standing and watching. So it was pretty packed, several thousand people.
You mentioned you heard something.
By the way, earlier today, Tyler Robinson was seen laughing in court. Laughing.
What did you hear again?
I heard a gunshot.
Okay. And can you describe you described Mr. Kirk's reaction? Was that simultaneous to hearing the gunshot?
Yes, it was.
When he fell to the left?
Yes.
Did you see the reaction from the crowd?
Yes.
What was that?
Everybody kind of got up. They all said, a lot of people were screaming, standing up, and starting to run in all different directions away from the center of the tent.
Okay. You're a police officer helping to secure the area, correct?
Yes.
What did you do?
At that moment, I recognized it as gunfire. I left my post, which was right down the south end of the Hall Flags. I proceeded to right where the Fugle and the Hall Flags meet. There's some outside stairs that I was trying to run down. As I was trying to get down to the bottom of the stairs, people were running up, people were laying down on the steps. I'm trying to jump over people to get to the bottom of the stairs so I can help stop an individual that's probably shooting.
What happened next?
By the time I got to the bottom of the stairs, I was informed on the radio that we had a shooter in custody. So I thought, at that moment, I was like, oh, that was kind of fast. Obviously, it was closer range probably because we had an individual in custody. Another officer came on and said we had an individual in custody.
That was the guy, the old guy, whose pants were around his ankle, I believe. I believe.
So I decided to, since the threat is gone, now I can assess for anybody that's injured and start looking for any medical needs that's needed at that moment. I started canvassing the area. As I canvassed the area, I was looking for anybody that was injured. I saw a kid on the ground that was on about the second or third tier in the grass next to a wheelchair, and he was almost convulsing. I thought he'd maybe been shot. Talked to the dad as I was running over there. He said that he was just having a seizure, that he was fine, he was not injured. So then at that moment, I observed that there was no other injuries that I could see at that moment.
Okay. Was your attention drawn to anything else at that time?
Yeah, so after we got some people kind of cleared away a little bit, I thought I needed to start preserving the scene because we had a crime scene. And with some of my experience and training to that effect I decided now we need to contain the scene and help preserve as much evidence as we can. So I started pushing people off the grass out of the courtyard area because I knew that's where the crime scene was. So we started pushing those guys.
You know what? Actually, let's maybe we'll do this as a segment. So I have this. Yeah, this piece. We have live updates. Okay. Yeah. This trial, the preliminary hearing is expected to take 5 days. So basically every day this week, we should get some chunks of updates on the evidence. An important thing to note, from what I understand, is they are not showing the exhibits to the public. So we won't know exactly what they're showing, and so we might actually not see the video. Because why? Well, because the jury hasn't been selected yet. A lot of people will probably jump on that and say, oh, there's a conspiracy theory here, da-da-da-da-da-da. No. It's just that the jury hasn't been selected, so they can't. They can't show the evidence to the public because that would taint the jury pool. Now, I'm assuming, I'm assuming that we'll see that during the actual trial, but it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Sorry, I have to put my knee brace on really quick. For those who don't know, I'm waiting on MRI results on an explodiated knee. It's been very painful, but one thing I can say, like best case scenario, best case scenario is that it's just, I put it on backwards too. Best case scenario is that it is just a tear that can heal on its own with physical therapy. That's really what I'm hoping for. Really, really hoping for that. I haven't wasted any prayers on it because I feel like, look, I did this to myself. I don't really want to pray. I feel like, praying for myself feels kind of selfish. But I am hoping very much that it's just a tear and they're going to say, hey, you need, 8 weeks of physical therapy, which will be fine. I have my email open in the other window waiting for my MRI results. I had an MRI on Thursday. They said it'd be 3 to 4 days for results, and I have not heard anything back yet. So I don't know what for sure caused it. I think there was an underlying issue, and then I was moving my dog's agility course with my father-in-law, and it's very heavy. There's like those big metal ramps that they go over. There's a teeter-totter, like a large platform, stuff like that. And the garage floor was wet because the dogs were in the pool and they were coming in and out of the garage. And the A-frame, which probably weighs 500 to 600 pounds, probably, I'd say. Because it took two of us to carry it. So it was up, and then it basically sits like this, and there's like two chains between each side that hold it at the angle that you want. So if you want it like really tall, you shorten up the chain. If you want it more flat, you have the chain, you let out a couple loops on the chain. We had it up, and then it's like we were getting ready to kind of like let it slide down, but because the floor was wet, it just like went poof and it came open. And I was, obviously worried about, my father-in-law's fingers or anybody else getting hurt, because it's very heavy and it just like dropped open. And I like extended my knee out to try and like slow the descent of the thing. I think that's what was the final straw. I think I was using all the proper lifting methods. I was using the twisting, jerking motion that I was taught when I lift things. But for some reason, I still got hurt. I don't know why. You're not lifting up 300 pounds. I guarantee you I can. Malcolm Sweet, you want to turn on your webcam and you lift 300, I'll lift 300. I guarantee you I can lift 300. Getting old. I've got hollow bones. I hope not. Isn't that how you're so jerking, twisting motion? I was like, spread my, I was standing up, my legs were extended as far as I could. I twisted, I jerked. I know that's like a dig at the fat guy, but if you understood anything, I carry around 300 pounds all day, every day, homie. Picking up 300 pounds is not hard. I carry it every day. Let's talk about this. We have some funny, embarrassing moments from CNN. Yeah, always when you lift, okay, if you want to be like me, you want to extend out over as far as you can, okay? Don't bring it in close to your body. Reach out as far as you can, and then lift using a jerking, twisting motion. That's the best way to lift. And if the box says team lift, That's just a suggestion. Don't listen to that. All the way out, jerking, twisting motion, lift. Very easy. If you forget to jerk, then your twist isn't going to work. Make sure you use a jerking, twisting motion every time you're lifting something. And it is shocking to me how many people in chat don't get the joke right now. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Team lift. Yeah, team lift is for communists. If you want to study communism, then you can use the team lift. The instruction I received was a little bit different. It was nothing like that. It was more like, just effing lift it for Christ's sake. Lift. What's wrong with you? Yes, that's also very effective. Don't stretch either. Don't stretch. Stretching's for idiots and communists and liberals. Don't stretch. Ignore the team lift. Jerking, twisting motion, and be overweight. That's the only way to lift things. If you can't follow those simple instructions, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. All right, let's get into the story. Don't bend your knees either. Oh my God. Yeah, don't do that. Thank you, Peeboo. Thank you. By the way, one thing you get on my channel that maybe you don't get on everybody else's channel, I don't know. I'm not calling anyone out. I read the chat. So if you're watching now, click through to my channel. If you're watching like on the homepage or something, click through to the quartering, follow me. I'm live Monday through Fridays. Right now at 9 a.m. Eastern, and additional shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, although we might slide back into this time slot too. And yes, make sure the object is as far away from you as possible. Barely be able to reach it. Don't get in close to that thing. Make sure it's maximally away from your body. And then once you have it lifted, keep it as far away from your body as possible, keeping in mind the jerking, twisting motion. Extend your arms fully. Please don't do any of that. Please don't do any of that. All right, so over the weekend, I have a triple pack, a triple update for you from CNN. First of all, they tried to dump on America's 250th birthday, and Dave Chappelle absolutely destroyed them. Secondly, they tried to talk about the reflecting pool and got ruthlessly fact-checked right to their face. And thirdly, wait, that might be both. Yes, both the reflecting pool and America's 250th birthday. Let's start with the Chappelle interview. So they interviewed Dave Chappelle, hoping that he would say America sucks. Now, Dave Chappelle is an interesting guy. I'm peering over to my right. I see it. I have an email from the doctor that says new test result available. So we may find out live how bad my knee injury is here. So we'll find out. I'll stick to the story, but I have some test results. If it's just the x-ray, that won't be helpful, but we'll see. I know you probably shut up, Jeremy, and get back to the story. They tried to trap Dave Chappelle, and it didn't go well.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Dave, you are sorry.
No good.
You are so emblematic to the idea of the power of free speech. Tell me tonight, as we look at the 250th anniversary of this country, why you are proud to be an American, and how do you view our country today?
Boy, that's a loaded question.
They know, like, these dorks, It is the MRI knee results. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Anyway, they know that they know that they have an issue.
Now I see why Trump gets mad at y'all all the time. Why would you ask me that? All right. No, I got an answer for that. I don't agree with everything that our government does, but the one thing that I really consistently believe and that I love about being an American is my countrymen. If I'm overseas or around the world, anytime I see an American over there, we just give each other the Fight Club look, because we live in a madness that only we really understand what it's all about. And I have faith in my countrymen, no matter how crazy all of this will make it feel, that the sun will rise and that I feel like I'm part of a very incredible community. So God bless my countrymen and let us make this country absolutely great.
Oh, you almost said it.
Cheers to that.
And
cheers to that.
He almost said it. You almost said it. You almost said it.
Dave, yeah.
Cheers. Hey, get me a beer, would you? And Mr. Trump, please leave those Haitians in Springfield alone. We love them.
Well, if they would stop eating the cats and dogs, you know. If they would stop eating the cats and dogs. But then they went on to have Doug Burgum, Captain Eyebrows. Captain Eyebrows. They tried to catch him in a lie, and he absolutely destroyed him.
Defended the expediting contract in order to try to get it fixed in time for July 4th. Now, of course, chunks of paint are peeling off the floor. The algae has returned. What went wrong?
Well, the algae is all gone. I mean, that was a momentary thing as it was being refilled. There was algae in the pipes, but the new technology, the nanobubblers that have been installed, if you go down there today and look at it, it is completely clean and clear. And so for the first time, there's actual a solution that involves making sure that we've got an algae-free pond. It keeps being reported that this was paint. It was not paint. This was an industrial liner that was put into the pool for the very first time. Multiple layers, fixing 2.5 miles of expansion.
But it peeled off. Why? Why did that happen? Do you know?
It didn't peel off. There was vandalism. There was box cutters. There have been 7 arrests.
Right.
There was people literally trying to destroy part of a monument. The reflecting pool is not just a pool on the mall. It is part of the Lincoln Memorial. And
isn't it funny? Like, isn't it funny how they basically just, this whole algae thing was wild. Like, anybody who has a pool or has ever had a pool, they don't need algae. I mean, they've had algae. Algae is a thing. It happens, especially when there's a heat wave going on through the country, especially when leftoids are pouring algae into the water, which was happening, I guess, as well. They really, really, like, didn't it seem like the left was really, really, really cheering for, a national monument to be destroyed?
Anybody says that they're going to go and vandalize that, it's no different than if someone was throwing paint.
And you're
on Lincoln
100%
itself.
sure that what happened with the liner was vandalism. You can prove it.
Oh yeah, absolutely can.
Yeah, of course it was. It was a large, long cut that was very clearly done by a former Olympian, by the way.
And as we drain it, we've got all the photographs we can see. I mean, there's no possible way.
There are photographs of a person or people cutting a 300 or 350 foot gash in the bottom of the reflecting pool?
Dana, I'm not sure why you and others in the media think that you want to keep trying to question whether or not this is an industrial liner. Every farmer and rancher in America that's had their pickup liner lined by this sprayed on liner knows that you literally it would never just like peel off or fall off. This is like a strong material.
Yeah.
And it's the size of 8 football fields. And the only way you can end up with actual slices in one spot and not the other is that someone physically cut it.
Obviously. I mean, this coming from the tear every single statue down people. I mean, it is so weird how they go on TV every night. I mean, Dana Bash is one of the stupidest people damaged. Like, it very clearly was damaged in every conceivable way. But isn't it true that it wasn't? What are we doing here, CNN?
And so the pool itself, it's not leaking. It was leaking 45,000 gallons a day. It's finally been fixed by President Trump.
45,000 gallons a day it leaked. That's a big leak. Where was that going? Where the heck was that going?
The American flag blue is working perfectly. And again, it's beyond me why. I mean, the real scandal is about the fact that the state of our capital was in such total disrepair that some people, no one was reporting about. No one was reporting about the pro-Hamas graffiti on the.
Mr. Secretary, you and I talked about
wait, no, let him talk. You wouldn't want the truth coming out there.
Last month.
Yeah, and we're still talking about it.
Well, because it was July 4th and the reflecting pool was closed.
It was closed because it's surrounded by fireworks. It's closed every year on the 4th of July.
But it was closed prior to that in order to fix the reflecting pool.
But it was closed because the largest fireworks display in the country we talked about was set up, and it lines either side of the reflecting pool. You can't have people around fireworks when they're being set up. Now that the fireworks will come down.
But I want to push my narrative. But I want to push my narrative. But my narrative.
The fence will come down. The fence was there because of the fireworks.
Copy that. I just want to ask you about one other.
I wonder if this other clip is here.
Ask you about the vandalism. There is an Olympian, David Hearn,
here.
Who was indicted for vandalism. The maximum sentence is
good. He should get all 10 years, by the way. He should get all 10 years. He should get all 10 years. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he did it anyway.
10 years in prison. He says he didn't do anything other than reach into the reflecting pool and pull out and look at a piece of the liner that had already been.
Well, I'm sure that's what he said.
Cut. Do you really think he should face a 10-year prison sentence for doing this? This is a.
Well, by the way, if all he really did was just pull out a little bit of, pool that had already been cut, then no, he should not. And as much as I, hate the left, like, if that's the truth, and if that's really what's going on, then no, he shouldn't get 10 years in prison. But my guess is they probably have a little bit more evidence than we know.
Somebody who competed for America and, did extremely well there and is saying he didn't do anything wrong?
You can be a former governor, you can be a former this, you can be a former that, but just because you were a former something doesn't exclude you from the law today.
Yeah, that's fair. But he says he didn't do anything to actually hurt it other than pick it up because it was already peeling.
Well, he can say what he wants to say. I wasn't there. I was not an eyewitness. I mean, the courts will decide. But I think the law stands. That is the law that exists, and it should be, again, if people are, damaging federal government property, if people are defaming our monuments, they should face the consequences of that. So the courts will decide.
Right.
Secretary Burgum.
I mean, again, I don't want, even though the left has no problem overcharging people that they perceive as their political enemies, I don't. If all he really was doing was just reaching into the pool and like pulling some piece of trash out, like they're saying, okay, fine. But I don't think that's the whole story. I don't think that they federally indicted him over this. I don't believe that. You know, like I don't believe. I just don't believe in any way, shape, or form that. I don't believe that he just picked it up. And if that's the case, well, then we'll find out, I suppose. But I'm pretty sure that he did what they said he would do, and he's going to be charged appropriately. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to see. CNN sucks. All right. If you're just tuning in, by the way, my name is Jeremy. This is The Quartering. We're live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. My one and only ask is that if you're enjoying the show, that you click through. If you're watching me on the homepage, there's about 7,000 people watching right now. I see you guys. I appreciate you guys. Click through, click The Quartering, click through to the video, follow the channel, and get involved in chat. I read the chat. You know, I enjoy all of your opinions, all of your feedback and memeing and jokes and stuff like that. So get involved in the stream. I learned to recognize everybody, and I interact with chat, and I love hearing from you all. And I do want to give a huge shout out, by the way, to Rumble Wallet right now, because I love it and I use it. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the best part. Here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you've felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet, and I do. It takes all of that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoin, or even digital-backed gold by Real Gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like me directly. I love when people tip me with Rumble Wallet, by the way. It's the only place I have crypto. Now that, so do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. All right. The results of my MRI. Do we want to do a live chat medical diagnosis? I also have the story on Tyler Robinson too. It looks like good news. Maybe good news. And it has been feeling better the last day or two. All right, so crucial ligament intact. MCL intact. LCL intact. PCS intact. Other thing they checked, intact. So it looks like all of my ligaments are intact. No fractures to the bone. Let's see. Lateral compartment says mild surface fraying. Moderate joint effusion with mild synovial hypertrophy. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But it looks like what it is apparently I have a leaking Baker's cyst. That sounds disgusting. What is that? What is that? A leaking or ruptured Baker's cyst occurs when the fluid-filled sac behind your knee bursts, sending synovial fluid into your calf muscle. So that would make sense because my calf was killing. It causes sudden sharp knee or calf pain. Well, that sounds right. Calf swelling and sometimes bruising around the ankle or sensation of water running down your leg. Well, I didn't feel like that. So a small blowout. Hey, Ruby. Okay. Looks like that. Go to the ER immediately. Well, I already did. Medical treatment. Fluid aspiration. Healthcare professional will drain the fluid using a needle. Oh, God. Steroid injections and joint repair. If cartilage tears causing the extra fluid to build up. So this seems like best case scenario, right? So this seems like best case scenario. Am I right? Is that... Is that best case scenario? Best case scenario is some swelling and no cyst, no rupture, no tearing. Well, yeah. Needles better than surgery? Yeah. Why wouldn't your body just absorb the fluid? Maybe it does. It says Baker's cyst, leaking Baker cyst measuring 2.4 by 2.3, approximately 6 centimeters. Steroid injections are always fun. You'll feel good as used, but they do the job. Okay. How stupid do you have to be to read this live? Who gives a shit? I know that like A-logs will think it's weird, but I don't care. I involve my viewers in everything. So I think it seems good. Take a screenshot and ask Grok. Okay. Let's try that. I think that's in centimeters, by the way. That's what Grok says. So it looks like I probably just need the knee cleaned out. I could probably cancel the wheelchair Jeremy era. All right, let's go. Let's see here. Keep pressure off the joint. Like I said, it's a little more blunt. Lose weights. Oh, well, yeah, I know I have to lose weight. Yeah. Let's see. See what Grok. We'll see what Grok has to say. Let's get into the Tyler Robinson story, huh? Let's see. Well, let's get into the Tyler Robinson story. And I know wheelchair summer is off. That sucks. A Baker's cyst is when the fluid sac behind the knee busts and drains in the knee cavity in the back of the calf. So it's not like something that, it's not like I have like a weird cyst that shouldn't be there. It's something that's there and it just exploded. Is what it sounds like. All right, let's see what Grok says. No tears, the ACL, MCL, yes, cartilage damage. So there's cartilage damage to the knee, which I would expect from being a fat. I have moderate fluid in the knee joint, inflammation of the lining, reaction to the cartilage, irritation. Leaking on the MRI means a cyst is ruptured or is decompressing. Fluid is escaping the soft tissue around the back of the knee, often tracking down the calf, which would explain why my calf hurts so bad. Sudden pain and swelling behind the knee and calf. Your doctor will have ruled this out clinically. The fluid is usually reabsorbed over days or weeks. That's great news then, right? That seems like good news. Oh, the cyst formed on whatever should be there, so they might have to take that out. This is normal fluid sac, keeps your knee lubricated. So this says just physical therapy, and I mean, it doesn't look like surgery. Seems like the best case scenario. Bottom line, no surgical emergency. The findings explain your symptoms, and most people in the situation well with proper rehab. Yay. Well, that's good, right? Now, the team has not looked at that yet, but that seems like okay, I'm going to have a rough couple of weeks, but that's it. Worst case scenario, you might need to have the fluid drained before you start the rehab. Yeah. I've got a box cutter and a bow of straws. Well, I'll probably just let the professionals do that. I'll probably let the professionals do that. That seems like good news. All right. Yay. Lose 50 pounds, bro. Pathetic to do an upperkin without starting there. Well, thanks for the thoughtful feedback. I'll keep it in mind. And stop being fat. Yes, I understand that. But professionals cost money. That's true. Bring your box cutter over. We could probably figure it out, right? I feel like we could figure it out. So basically, no surgery possible. Might have to get it drained. Surgery before diet is so pathetic. Well, how do you recommend I get physically active when I can't move my legs? I'm not a surgeon, but I performed various operations. Well, that's okay. That's all I really need. Did you stay at a Holiday Inn last night? Is it possible? Oh, steroids? I'd love that. You're unable to walk. I can walk with a knee brace. But I mean, obviously I can't do a lot because swimming could help you a lot. Yes, good idea. $150 and a case of beer. You'll take care of it. All right, Sergeant. Yeah. Steroids are great until you get the adrenal fatigue and your life falls apart. Well, it's just, hopefully it just gets reabsorbed and the MRI results said also had atrophy in the knee. He really should lose weight. I mean, telling a fat guy he needs to lose weight isn't exactly groundbreaking commentary. You get that, right? Like, I know some people are just like so autistic that they don't like mean it like in a negative way, but like, let me tell you this. Fat people know they should lose weight, and telling them that, even with it being like good in your heart, isn't really, 2 months no sugar. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. He just needs to do a shot or a pill that's also available for men. Yeah, well, we'll see what the doctor says, but at least if the ligaments are intact, that seems good, right? Let's do this. Fat guys know, fat women are in denial. True. You could tell every fat woman you want that she needs to lose weight, but guys know. You need to gain weight. Doctors don't tell you. That's the truth. That's the truth that doctors don't want to tell you. Well, the trial has begun, at least a preliminary trial, and we've seen a lot of information around Tyler Robinson right now. Lots of things will be played at this hearing that we're going to discuss in this video, and some of the early interactions that we've seen, including Tyler Robinson, I guess, laughing at the trial today. But let's talk about everything that we've got in terms of updates from the trial as is ongoing. Erica Kirk is in attendance, I imagine staring daggers through the back of Tyler Robinson's head right now. And I'm sure Candace Owens is panicking now that real evidence is going to be presented. And let's take a look at it. By the way, I started a vlog channel. It's called Quartering Vlogs. It's available everywhere. I'll leave a link in the description, or you can just search Quartering Vlogs up, one word. It probably will come up. Two a week. And it's going to be, more like off the cuff stuff. It should be hopefully more interesting to people. If you're not interested in it, that's fine. But it'll be available. I'm creating the Rumble channel now, but it's also available everywhere else you watch my videos. Here's what is going to be presented in court over this week. Okay. This is, for all the people, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. This is just the prelim evidence and what's going to be presented in this week alone. Okay. Drone images of UVU, 3 different exhibits, photo of the screwdriver used, daytime photo of the sniper perch, photo of the sniper perch, another photo of it, video of a mother with a child in the crowd. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I don't know what that shows. A written statement from A. Wright, video of the incident from behind the questionnaire, a written statement from T. Phillips, video of the incident with Charlie Kirk, written statement from TPUSA, video of the incident from behind the booth, photo of the rifle in bushes, another photo of the rifle, a photo of rifle in a box, the medical examiner's report. Now that'll be one that'll be pretty interesting. That'll be one that there's been a lot of questions about exit wounds and this, that, and the other thing. That'll be interesting. Then also UVU surveillance footage from that day and doorbell surveillance from that day, which purportedly will show Tyler Robinson. Written statement from C. Noble, a written statement from Mike Mitchell, video at WCSO on the next day, recorded statement of Lance Twiggs. Now that's going to be the really, really big one. That'll be the really, really big one. The video statement from Lance Twiggs will be really, really big because that obviously is one where we expect Lance Twiggs to say, well, yeah, Tyler did it. We obviously have innumerable confessions that they can show, but we'll start there. If Lance Twiggs, his partner, said, yeah, he did it, that's going to be pretty interesting. Now, the purpose of this trial is just to say, this is why we're having the trial. This is just why we believe what we believe about Tyler Robinson. I know not everyone believes it. That's okay. Also, text messages between Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs. This will be obviously the confession. Discord chats will also be the confession. It'll be interesting to know if there's other things in those Discord chats. One of the things that I think all of us agree on is that certainly there's going to be more, I believe more people knew about it, right? People that were in these Discord chats, people that were in these, whatevers, people knew about it. There was even a book uploaded to Amazon called The Assassination of Charlie Kirk 2 days before it happened. Nobody ever really talked about that. A photograph of the note. Remember the note that Tyler Robinson left that said he was going to do it, that then Lance Twiggs tried to destroy, but for some reason still took a picture of it, and then they had that picture of it. The FBI press release with photographs, photo of round 1 from the rifle, round 2, 3, and 4 from the rifle, photo of the round from the apartment that had similar etchings on it, I think it was called like Test or something like that. Photo of targets from the apartment. I assume that just means he was at the range. That doesn't necessarily mean everything. Then we have the ATF DNA report on the rifle and the cartridges, which match Tyler Robinson. FBI DNA reports on the towel and screwdriver, which also match Tyler Robinson. So, of course, it's pretty interesting to me that people forgot that this stuff existed. ATF ballistics report, ATF DNA report on the Dremel and cartridges, which will also presumably match Tyler Robinson, and the ATF tool marks report. That is that will be presented also in court this week alone. You know, for a lot of people that say, oh, well, there's no evidence, there's nothing going on. Well, certainly there is. Certainly there has been, and certainly there will be more. Now, prosecutors are in court to argue that the man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk should stand trial. So basically, the purpose of this is to say, like, look, we have all this evidence. That's why this trial is going to happen. 3 men escorted Erica Kirk into the courthouse in Provo several minutes before the hearing began. She walked into the court holding hands with Charlie Kirk's mom, Kathleen Kirk. Robinson's parents were also present a few rows behind the Kirks. The 23-year-old man is charged with assassinating Charlie Kirk, obviously. Prosecutors allege he confessed in a note left for the roommate, which will be in evidence, who is also his romantic partner. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. Robinson has still not entered a plea. I don't know if that's normal or not. Maybe you wait till after the pretrial hearing and you see, you know, what's going on with that. And his attorneys have not commented on his guilt or innocence. They have, however, sought to get the death penalty taken off the table, and unsuccessfully so. The proceedings resemble a mini trial, but prosecutors need only demonstrate that there are reasonable grounds to believe that Tyler Robinson did it. Obviously, this is a slam dunk. The DNA evidence and all that kind of stuff, obviously, you know, you can't refute that. Prosecutors expect to present between 40 and 50 exhibits, so there's more than that were even on that sheet. Chief Deputy Utah Attorney Chad Grunderar told the State District that Judge Tony Groff that exhibits will include several videos of the incident, which occurred as Kirk was addressing the crowd of thousands at UVU. The video shown in the courtroom monitor will be set up so that they will not be captured by the press videographer in the courtroom. Now, we'll see them at the trial, but we won't see them during the pretrial because they haven't yet selected the jury. Once the hearings are finished, State District Judge Tony Groff must determine whether there's enough evidence for the case to proceed to trial, which of course there will be. Prosecutors have said they plan to present DNA evidence linking Robinson to the suspected murder weapon, testimony from investigators, autopsy findings, witness statements, and videos of the incident. They also expected to argue that the incident endangered others at Kirk's campus event, an aggravating circumstance that could make the crime punishable by death under Utah law. Prosecutors this week can also use secondhand information or hearsay to help present their case. This is something that the defense team tried to stop. Now, Robinson's roommate is not expected to testify in person during the hearing. Still, the roommate's recorded testimony could be the focal point for prosecutors. In addition to the alleged confession note, Robinson reportedly texted his roommate that he targeted Kirk because he had had enough of his hatred. Before his death, Kirk was organizing co-founder. We already know that. All that kind of stuff. Every court proceeding serves as a painful reminder of his death, she wrote, a loss that has irrevocably impacted our lives and the lives of our children. Now, some live updates from the trial right now. They've been calling witnesses. Catherine Nestor, one of Tyler Robinson's defense lawyer, cross-examining the police officer who used to work on UVU campus where Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and is questioning him about specifics about what he witnessed. I mean, we know whether or not you believe Tyler Robinson acted alone or whether or not you believe, you know, somebody paid him to do it. I think there is very, 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 very few people who don't believe Tyler Robinson at least pulled the trigger. You know? At least. At least he pulled the trigger. You know? We also have the judge here announcing, giving special shout out to Erica Kirk, for the record, recognizing that she's in the courtroom. It's something, you know, I imagine would be. I would want to be there.
Richard Novak and Stacy Visser here on behalf of Mr. Robinson, who's seated to my right.
Good morning. Mr. Robinson, good morning. For the record, the court also recognizes the presence of Ms. Erica Kirk. Ms. Kirk, good morning. First, with respect to courtroom protocol, to maintain security and decorum, any individual who exits the courtroom during proceedings will not be permitted to re-enter.
Now, we will, of course, have lots to talk about, and I will cover probably in a summary form, you know, everything that we hear each day. But right now, I would say we're going to see a lot of what we already know. The DNA, the confessions. Now, we won't see the actual Discord conversations until the trial starts, which I think will be next month. But once the trial starts, we'll see the actual Discord messages, which I think is obviously important. The actual Discord messages are the important thing, because we need to know, what kind of specificity was used when he was talking about carrying out this act. What kind of specificity, in the, the hard facts and the hard evidence. That's what people really need to know. People really need that to kind of debunk a lot of these fake narratives that have been going. Now, there will be people that will continue to ignore the obvious, the obvious facts that will be presented in this case. But to me, I feel a great sense of relief that this trial is going forward and that Tyler Robinson is still there to stand trial. I had real fears that he would never make it to the trial, because we need this trial. The world needs this trial. Charlie Kirk's family needs this trial. And I really think the evidence will be overwhelming. There will be people that just are coping and refuse to believe it. But hopefully this will shed some light on normal people who believe that Tyler Robinson obviously pulled the trigger. I have questions about the other people in those Discord chats, what they knew. Were they interviewed? Will they testify? That will probably have to wait for the real trial to find out. I think there's still lots of questions that hopefully this trial will answer, but I'm really, really optimistic that it will answer most of the questions that people have. Keep it locked in right here, wherever you're watching. Make sure you're subscribed or following down below so that you don't miss a single update. Make sure you follow my vlog channel, which will be linked in the description, and we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, and with that, we're going to wrap the stream. Nice long stream today. Should be back on our regular scheduled programming here very soon. Looks like everything's, kind of best case scenario with the knee. Make sure you follow the channel so don't miss out on anything. We'll be back tomorrow with Melanie Mack, my co-host, and we'll